जानाम्य धर्मं न च मे निवृत्तिः त्वया स्वामिना हृदि स्थितेन यथा नियुक्तो अस्मि तथा करोमि अंतराय तिमिरौघ शान्तये त्वेष्ट शक्ति करुणारुणाप्रभं सन्तनोतु मुनिवृंद सेवितं भावगम्यम अनिशम शिवम महः करुणापूरिचित्तां सच्चिद्रूपां परां दिव्यां ब्रह्म सहचरीं तुर्यां बगलां शक्तिं प्रणौमि सौभाग्याम् यत् कारुण्यं वेक्ष भावभरितं सानंद गीतं सतां तच्चिंता निपुणैः शुद्धमतयो ये साधकाः सज्जनाः तेषां लब्ध कृपालवेन जननी बोधोदयो मे अभवत् तदवृत्तं विनिवेद्य सांप्रतमहं तोषं परम प्राप्तवान्. Jai Mai Maharaj ki to all the Sahyogis today. And today, actually, I was willing to conclude the discussion on Shlok 1. But the fact is that the Shlok 1 has two, three very important topics. And rather, I would say that if these three topics are somehow ascertained, and or if at the level of sadhana they are accomplished, there is nothing else which would be required to be accomplished in this life for anyone in this world. So I have kept this discussion to on those three topics only, and from next week onwards I will try to take it on a bit faster pace. So today the enquiries of Abhinav Gupta on 16 meanings of Anuttar, then word Katham, as Shlok says, Anuttar Katham Deva Sadyam Kaulik Siddhidam. Katham means how. Kaulika Siddhidam. So Kaulika Siddhi, which gives Kaulik Siddhi. So here Kaulika Siddhi is explained, and then fruitations of Kaulik Siddhi are also explained. Sadhya, word Sadhya means Samane Ani, means on the same day. The literal meaning, grammatical meaning of Sadhya is Samane Ani, which means same day. That is explained. Then Vigyat Matren word is explained here. After that, in this Khechari Samya Avastha, in first shlok is pending, and then after Khechari Samya Rahasya Charya means left in Rahas, because Acharya Abhinav Gupta explains in detail that how Khechari Samya impacts Shabd, Sparsh, Roop, Ras and Gandha. All these five principal attributes of your Panchendriya. So first we would see that what are the 16 meanings of Anuttar. So the first meaning is Na vidyate uttaram adhikam yataha. So what does it mean? It means the one in which there is nothing which could be added or subtracted, means it is absolute and complete. Means nothing. Na vidyate uttaram adhikam yataha. Here and in first, uttar is explained in terms of adhik. So uttar in general means beyond. So here uttar has various meanings. So here in this first meaning of anuttar, uttar stands for adhik. So there is nothing which could be added. So that's complete, absolute. So that absolute is such absolute is anuttar. Then second meaning comes na vidyate prashna prativacho rupam yatra. In the last session we discussed a lot about maha and aham. So aham stands for question, which is sansaran, srishti ki avastha, and or shakta prasar. Whereas maha stands for bhairav samhar, the answer. So the fact is that at the state of anuttar, in the state of anuttar, there is neither any question, means there is no creation, or you can say that there is no doubt in common language. So, and in the same manner, there is no answer also, means there is no sanghar, or rather there is no clarification of doubt also. So as in the so all the meanings of anuttar are clustered, means they are sanghat, sangha mein hai, means there is no difference between them. So the one meaning one meaning just complements another meaning. So the first one says that na vidyate uttaram adhikam yataha. So in what does second say? It says na vidyate prashnavat prashna na vidyate prashna prativacho rupam yatra, means where there is neither any question nor there is answer, means that is the state of absolute completeness. And it's true. That means if suppose you are expert in some topic, in something you are expert, you are sitting somewhere, you are expert, so you would be composed, you would be settled, means mentally you would be settled. There will be no doubt or no question, and any kind of inquiry would not be there in your mind. So in the case of anuttar, as that anuttar is anuttar, so because it is absolute, so in absolute certainly there would not be any query, and then there would not be any clarification. And on the other hand, it is beyond creation, operation, destruction, and srishti, sthiti, sanghar, tirodhan and anugrah, or otherwise anand, ichha, gyan, and kriya. It is beyond that. So that is anuttar. After that, na vidyate uttara uttaranam yatra. So, so you might have heard in your life, you might have heard various times in your life that okay, what the thought you might have heard in your life that okay, Vatarani, there is Vatarani river. So when once you cross that Vatarani river, you would attain the moksha. Once you cross the Vatarani river, you would attain the moksha. That you might have heard from all the places. So the fact is, here in this case, there is no such uttaran, means you कहीं पार नहीं जाना है. You need not to cross something, means if suppose your objective is there and you have to run and grab it. There is nothing like that, because this anuttar is spread all around. This anuttar is spread all around. There is no place in this world where anuttar does not exist. Rather, I would say that this entire creation, Prithivyan, resorts inside Prakrityand. Prakrityand is inside Shaktyan, and then Mayand, then Shaktyan, and then Shivand. And then this entire composition stands resorts inside Anuttar. So the fact is that everything comes into being with an Anuttar, because there is nothing outside Anuttar. There is no existence outside Anuttar. And there is, in reality, there is only one existence, and that is Anuttar. So if you are able to ascertain this thing, you would be able to ascertain the Anuttar Tattva. We will discuss that also later on. Then Navidyate Urdhva Tarana Krama Yatra. One day, Shriman Prantik ji asked me about whether Hriday stands for Anahat Chakra or not. I was checking, I think he has not joined yet now. So the fact is that न विद्यते ऊर्ध्व तरण क्रमः यत्र, मीन्स यहाँ पर चक्रों का यहाँ चक्रों का उत्क्रमण नहीं है. मीन्स for example, in 6 chakras are there. So in Trikamat, 6 chakras are mentioned as Nabhi, Hriday, Kantha, Talu, Brahmarand, and Bhairava Bil. And that Bhairava Bil only is known as Urdhva Kavat. So there is no practice by which, no Kundalini practice is there, means Chakra Bhedan practice is not there in this Anuttar. The only so any such efforts are not there. Na vidyate urdhva tarana krama yatra. This kram, this sequence is not here. The sequence of means first you have to pierce Mula, from Mooladhara to start Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahat, Vishuddhi, Agya, Chakra, and then Nadan, and Shakti Vyapani, Bindu, Ardhachandra, Shakti Vyapani, and Rodhini, फिर नाद इस तरह समना उन्मना, nothing less like that. There is no such kram of urdhva kramana. After that, na vidyate uttarah bandha yatra. There is no foundation. When something is absolute, you just take it that when there is something which is absolute. So if something is absolute, then there is nothing which is less. And that when there is nothing less, then less stands for foundation. Bandhan means less. If something is less, then that stands for foundation. So there is no bandhan at all. After that, what is that? न विद्यते उत्तरः मोक्षः यत्र. यहाँ मोक्ष भी नहीं है. बंध हुआ ही नहीं तो मोक्ष कैसा? महामहेश्वर आचार्य जयरथ ji has once said in Tantra Lok's first Tahnik, he has quoted a shlok that is very beautiful shlok, which says that जब बंधन हुआ ही नहीं तो मोक्ष किससे? आप बंधन है ही नहीं, आप पे किसी प्रकार का बंधन है ही नहीं, सब माया का आवरण है. All this Anava, Karm and Mayimal, all these are आवरण of Maya. You are subjugated by Maya, है ना? आपको माया ने आपके ऊपर कैप्चर कर रखा है. Your original self, that swa only is anuttar tattva, and as that all is Maya, and Maya is not real. So the fact is that there is no foundation, and when there is no foundation, there is no moksha also. The only thing is self-realization. So this is there. Na vidyate uttaram shabdanam yatra. So what does it mean? There is no mental मानसिक विकल्प नहीं. विकल्प है जब निर्विकल्प की अवस्था की बात की जाती है. So इस अवस्था में कोई विकल्प है ही नहीं. And true, because when there is something you are absolute, if the state of absolute में how there will be any kind of विकल्प. So the fact is, अच्छा एक और चीज में I would take a break from this and I would just like to explain one thing. We, as of now, we might have seen that we are not talking exactly what is Anuttar. We are just talking about its attributes and characteristics. The fact is that Anuttar cannot be explained. Indriyatit hai. It is beyond sense of organs. So what is that? What can be done? It can only be realized. It can only be realized. So these 16 characteristics of Anuttar are there, and they can only be realized by the virtue of sadhana. है ना? So by these characteristics would be able to make you ascertain the Anuttar Tattva. Otherwise, how Anuttar is, so क्योंकि वो no one means, you can explain anything which you can ascertain by the virtue of indriya. Otherwise, if you don't have any indriya, you cannot ascertain that thing. So now with after that, now vidyate uttaram uttaratvam yatra. So what does it mean? The fact is that in general thoughts, what we see is that न विद्यते उत्तरम उत्तरत्वम यत्र मीन्स, जैसे आप यू से दैट ओके, आणवोपाय से शाक्तो पाए जाएंगे, फिर शाम्भवो पाए जाएंगे, फिर अनु पाए जाएंगे, या हमने कोई बाला का मंत्र लिया, बाला के बाद फिर और कोई मंत्र लिया, फिर लाइक क्रम है, सम क्रम इज देयर, सम क्रम दीक्षा विल हैपन, देन अभिषेक दीक्षा विल हैपन. So there is no such crumb is not there. So now vidyate uttaram uttarattam yatra means you need not to continuously climb up in terms of means efforts. यहाँ पे जैसे अपरा शक्ति से आप परा अपरा का अनुभव किया, फिर परा, so that is not, it is absolute. So anuttar is absolute. It's like so in that case there is no effort by which there is no step by which you can attain this thing. Now again, na vidyate uttara shakti bheda yatra. So this na vidyate uttara shakti bheda yatra has some four definitions, means is used to give the four definitions. So the first one is that is anuttar. In this case of anuttar, there is no caste system. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, such caste system is not there in this anuttar. There is no such caste system. Only the fact is that na vidyate uttaraha gati bheda shakti bheda. So caste system is not there. Then what is that? Pashyanti, Madhyama and Vaikhari stages are also not there. Similarly, at 11th definition is that Aghora, Ghora, Ghora and Ghora are not there. Then 13th is that Par, Sthul and Sukshma. These three stages are also not there, because all these compositions are at when then Aham Pratyomar has happened, when Shaktullas has happened. In that case, these things would come, means caste system would come in this, because caste system is discrimination, भेद. भेद तो संसार का है, अनुत्तर में कोई भेद नहीं है, वहां कुछ नहीं है. तो क्या है कि all these systems, caste system and then Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari, because Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari would come into being only when there would be exposition at the worldly level. Otherwise, there is no such thing. Similarly, Aghora, Ghora, Ghora and Ghora, these Shaktis, a certain amount of these Shaktis are also not there. And Para Rupini, Sukshma Rupini, Sthul Rupini, इस प्रकार शक्ति के, even Abhinav says that these are Kapol Kalpit. These are Kapol Kalpit, means not Abhinav, but Swami Lakshman ji has explained that these are Kapol Kalpit. Because why? Because they are all in this Shaktollas, in this word which has come into being by Shaktollas, means Aham. Aham is Shaktollas and Maha is Bhairavollas. So in this word, all these things exist. Otherwise, in reality, there is no such thing. All these factors and all these attributes are only mental. Means only means what can I say? The image, reflection. That reflection is happening in Swatandra Shakti. After that, then again, the Bhavati Nuda Prerane Tara Taranam Yatra. Means you cannot encourage someone, okay, okay, Anuttar is very good, okay, you try and you will accomplish that state. That also is not possible here. Means you cannot recommend someone, you cannot encourage someone, you cannot tell someone, okay, means we are discussing Anuttar, but it would not happen that by listening to this you would be encouraged and you will attain the Anuttar. So that Nudan is not there. Na Bhavati Nuda Preranen Tara Taranam Tat Yatra. That is there. Then Anuttar aniti antasai uttaratvam yatra. So what does it mean? An stands for Shwas. An stands for Shwas means breath. So the fact is, one who breathes is जीव. जो श्वास लेता है वो जीव होता है, living being. So the fact is that that same Anuttar Tattva exists in every single जीव. So that only is explained here. Aniti antasaiv uttaratvam yatra. अब इसमें क्या होता है, जीवों में भेद कहाँ से आता है? ज्ञान, श्री उत्पल देव ने कहा है, ज्ञानम क्रिया च भूतानाम जीवताम जीवनम मतम. व्हाट डज इट मीन? Gyan and Kriya only is the only essence of life which exists in living beings. For example, amoeba is also a living being, snail is also a living being, sloth is also a living being, so many human beings are also living being, dog, cat, everyone, all these are living beings. But the fact is that Gyan and Kriya, these two attributes only bring in the changes. So this attribute is different. Otherwise, the same tattva, same Anuttar tattva exists as An in all these. So this is the reason why I would explain something which is not here in the beginning, in the end, in Kriya part, in Pratibimba bhag of this scripture it would be explained. जब मंत्र जप करते हैं तो जो श्वास होता है ये क्रिया शक्ति का प्रभाव होता है. This exhaling and inhaling is effect of kriya shakti. So what happens when we do mantra sadhana? When we do mantra sadhana and we inhale and exhale, and if suppose we synchronize the mantra with it, so by the virtue of that we can burn the karma phal. That is the practice. So how it is happening? Because that breathing cycle, breathing exercise belongs to this thing. After that, akalaya या नुत विसर्गांतता तस्या एव तरह यत्र. What does it mean? A is Anuttar. So in alphabet matrika chaka a e u all that, ka kha ga ga all that. So A stands for Anuttar. A stand आगे वो पूरा डिटेल में दिया. It is explained in detail later on. So the fact is A is Anuttar. So that Anuttar only when the Shaktollas it deliberates as Aham. This deliberation only is known as Aham Pratyavamarsh. And one more thing is that every single mantra in this word is Aham Pratyavamarsh. The original essence of every single mantra is Aham Pratyavamarsh. That Para Shakti only has deliberated herself. So in Shri Malini Vijayottar Tantra, it is explained. In Shri Malini Vijayottar Tantra, it is explained that in order to Bhagwan Shiv created this world for his joy, but then he plays around. How he plays around? He has given, because he is Parmeshwar and he is Panchakritya Sampanna. Panchakrit means 5 actions he can do. What he can do? Srishti, Sthiti, Sanghar, Tirodhana and Anugrah. These 5 he can do means he can create, he can operate, he can destroy, he can punish and he can bless. So what he does, when he comes in the form of these bodies, even you will see dog also can create, operate and bless. And it can bite, and it can protect you also if it is faithful to you. You have a pet dog, it will be faithful to you. So in that case Panchakritya वो भी करता है, हम भी करते हैं. Everyone is doing Panchakritya. So what Bhagwan Parmeshwar Shiv has done, he has given some amount of Parmeshwaratva to everyone. कुछ मात्रा में पारमेश्वरत्व हर जीव के अंदर है. आप साधना करेंगे तो पूर्ण पारमेश्वरत्व की सिद्धि हो जाएगी. यही अद्वैत है. This only is Advait. Here you will attain complete Parmeshwaratva by the virtue of sadhana. तो यहाँ पर क्या है, अहम प्रत्यवमर्श में तो होता क्या है, in order to how to attain complete Parmeshwaratva, उन्होंने ही created 3.5 करोड़ मंत्र. सारस्वत तंत्र में 7 करोड़ मंत्र है, कहीं 7.5 भी बताया गया. ठीक है, in मालिनी विजयोत्तर तंत्र 3.5 crore mantras are there. So he has created 3.5 crore mantras and he has spread them in the word mantra, mantra maheshwar, mantra maheshwar, like in those 7 प्रकार के प्रमाता स्तर होते हैं, उनमें फिर योग्यता के अनुरूप सिद्धि होती है मंत्रों की. So the fact is that he has spread those mantras in this word for the sake of liberation. So this is how he plays. First he would create the word, he would make, because there is nothing else except him, so he will make himself only as Jeev, and while becoming Jeev he will spread the mantras also. So, and then it is up to you. आप उस मंत्र से किसी का प्रयोग करके पैसा कमा दीजिए, you attain worldly accomplishments, or you do Nishkam sadhana, in that case, worldly accomplishment would also come, and Siddhi would also come, means Anuttar Khechari Samya would also come, because यहाँ मोक्ष शब्द की व्याख्या नहीं है, यहाँ मोक्ष है ही नहीं. There is nothing like moksha here. यहाँ खेचरी साम्य है, और खेचरी साम्य की अवस्था में when this body you will, when you would leave this body, you would not even bother whether you are in body or not in body. So that is the fact. After that, so a, and this a only has spread itself in this word by uh, in this word in during Shaktollas, and at the aham में हमने पहले चर्चा की, a stands for anuttar, ha stands for shakti, and ma stands for jeev. So from a up to ha it is mentioned, but fact is that every single aspect is anuttar only. So this way akalaya ya nut visargantata tasya ev tarah yatra. So this is definition. अनुत्तर अविद्यमाना नुत्क्रमात्मक क्रियामयी प्रेरणा यत्र तत् अनुत्ततो अपि सातिशयम्. So here it is said that Anut stands for Akash. Anut stands for Akash. Anut stands for Akash. So Akash क्या होता है? Akash stands for शून्य. So what does it mean? It means that कि देश काल means space, time, beyond all these things. Beyond space, time, everything beyond all these things is that Anuttar. There is nothing which so the fact is that the 16th meaning, essence of 16th meaning is that क्रम नहीं है यहाँ पर कोई भी. There is no sequence. There is no sequence. कोई क्रम नहीं है यहाँ पर. यहाँ पर किसी भी प्रकार का क्रम नहीं है. So in that means space और time का कोई क्रम नहीं है. पीछे we have seen in this, if you will see that na vidyate uttara shakti bheda yatra, in that case shakti bhed was discussed. Here shakti bhed is there because everything shakti शक्ति मात्रिक लगते हैं. देव से तत्र वपुष्यलम पर परमात्मा की शक्ति only has evolved as all these aspects in this world. But the fact is that in this aspect there is the discrimination of space and time is not there. That is why अनुत से स्काई के स्वरूप में लिया गया कि भाई यहाँ पे किसी भी प्रकार का इस प्रकार का भेद नहीं है. तो हर अवस्था में. अब उसके बाद महामेश्वर आचार्य अभिनव says, raises a question, why anuttar, why not anuttam? So the fact is that anuttam word comes into being with tama pratyay, tama suffix of Sanskrit, he says, and then anuttar is evolved. Vyutpatti of anuttar is due to tara pratyay. So in tama pratyay, what will happen if suppose you ask, I ask Rakesh bhaiya, okay bhaiya, who is your best student? So if suppose he will be surprised, okay, what question he is asking, and all are good. So all are good is anuttam, means ye bhi acha, ye bhi acha, ye bhi acha. He is also good, he is also good. So the fact is this is anuttam. But when there is means इससे better ये है, जैसे good, better, best. So in that taraf pratyay is so anuttar. So anuttar, when anuttar comes mean, so in literally it would mean उससे बेहतर बढ़कर कोई नहीं, no one beyond. That is the meaning of anuttar. And anuttar means he is also good, he is also good, he is also good. So Abhinav Gupta ji has explained very beautiful. I am Prasada Shuklaha, I am Pataha Shuklaha, I am Hansashta Shuklaha. Means this house is white. Okay, this cloth also is white, and this Hans also is white. So all are white. So here there is no competition. Nothing like competition is like there. But in case of Anuttar, yes, competition is there. On Uttar, Tarap Pratyay competition is there, and the word Anuttar means beyond any competitions. So that is Anuttar. Now, Acharya, we talked about Katham. We talked about Anuttar Katham Dev Sadhya Kaulik Siddhidam Yena Vigyat Matrana Khechari Samtam Vrajet. So the question is Katham means how. So Acharya Abhinav Gupta raises how in various forms. Okay, he has given various these definitions. How would one earn the Anuttar? How Anuttar would be accomplished? दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज अनुत्तर की बहुत चर्चा हो गई। बता दिया कि भाई खाना बहुत बढ़िया है, लजीज है, लाजवाब है, वंडरफुल फूड हैज बीन प्रिपेयर्ड टुडे एंड ये है, दिस डिश इज आल्सो देयर, कॉन्टिनेंटल इज आल्सो देयर, यू है, पंजाबी डिश इज आल्सो देयर, साउथ इंडियन इज आल्सो देयर, गुजराती, बट हाउ टू गेट दैट, because we have already discussed a lot about anuttar, how to attain that. So there are some questions whether by rejecting the above said uttar state means what we have discussed, the worldly affairs, whether by rejecting them, what is the way to earn it, as it is known that when entire world is anuttar, even भेद में इनकॉग्निमिटी मीन्स संसार में जितना भेद में विमर्श हो रहा है, मीन्स वट एवर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन यू आर सीइंग इन दिस वर्ल्ड, दैट आल्सो इज अनुत्तर. So how to earn it? In which state this anuttar could be earned? In which state you would earn it? Whether the state of moksha or in the state of bondage. So because see, the answers of these katham have already been, of all these katham questions, means all these house have already been given by Acharya in these 16 names. And then further these are explained. So this is the katham. And then he talks about Kaulika Siddhi. So first we shall understand in Kaulika Siddhi what is Kul. This is very important aspect. So Kul stands for Sthul Sukshma Par Pranendri Bhutadmi Samuhatmatya Karya Karanaccha, means Sthul Sharir. Okay, Sukshma Sharir, Karan Sharir. There are three kind of bodies, everyone might have heard. Sthul Sharir, this body, Sukshma Sharir and Karan Sharir. पांच प्राण मीन्स प्राण अपान व्यान उदान समान. 13 इंद्रिया माने कि 10, 5 कर्मेंद्रिय, 5 ज्ञानेन्द्रिय, 5 ज्ञानेन्द्रिय, 5 कर्मेंद्रिय और मन बुद्धि अहंकार, 3 अंतःकरण. ठीक है. एंड देन 5 महाभूत माने पृथ्वी जल वायु और आकाश. द क्लस्टर संघात. तो व्हाट ही सेज, स्थूल सूक्ष्म पर प्राणेन्द्रिय भूतादि समूहात्मतया कार्य कारण. द संघात, द समूह, द ग्रुप ऑफ स्थूल शरीर, सूक्ष्म शरीर, पर शरीर, ज्ञानेन्द्रिय, कर्मेंद्रिय, मन बुद्धि अहंकार, 5 प्राण and 5 महाभूत. When all these come together, the composite cluster of these is known as kul. Okay, the composite cluster of these is known as kul. And now you deliberate with this thought in mind, just to imagine what is that is not kaulik, what is that which does not belong to that kauliki shakti paramba. क्या ऐसा कुछ है जो पराम्बा का नहीं, जिसमें केवल इतनी सी इस एक लाइन से जो दिमाग की जो थॉट प्रोसेस चेंज, पैराडाइम शिफ्ट कम्स इन द थॉट्स, इट ब्रिंग्स इन पैराडाइम शिफ्ट इन थॉट प्रोसेस. एंड बाय merely knowing this fact that स्थूल शरीर, सूक्ष्म शरीर, कारण शरीर, प्राणेन्द्रिय मीन्स 5 ज्ञानेन्द्रिय, 5 कर्मेंद्रिया, 5 कर्मेंद्रिय, मन बुद्धि अहंकार, 5 प्राण and 5 mahabhut, all these together have formed this are karma, kul. So what is that in this world which does not belong to this thing? Everything is that. Okay. And after that, kulam bodhasya vasyan ruptaya yathavasthanat bodh swatantradev cha asya bandhabhimanat. So what does it mean? He said that Ashan means swelling, to swell. So entire Prameya Vishwa means the one word which has to be understood. The word which has to be understood. मैंने प्रमेय देखिए, प्रमाता understand something, prameya, by the virtue of praman. So praman is fact or theorem by the virtue of, and we are pramata, and we recognize this prameya. So this word is prameya. So this entire prameya vishwa, this entire word only is kul. Entire creation, this entire creation is kul, means right from here up to अनाशिक शिव तत्व, अनाशिक शिव तत्व से लेकर के पृथ्वी तत्व तक, every single thing is that kul. There is nothing else. So ashan, how ashan means to swell, or in you can say that pregnancy is there. So she impregnates herself. Everything is impregnated by Kauliki Shakti. That Kauliki Shakti swells herself and makes all these things available in herself. And other way around, you will see that Swatantra Shakti only becomes that Samvid Mukur. In Samvid Mukur, she reflects the Parmeshwar as this word. Swatantra Shakti, khud Samvid mirror means Shuddha Chetana, Shuddha Mahachiti. Samvid stands for Shuddha Samvid means Mahachiti. In that Mahachiti Swarup mirror, she deliberates Parmeshwar Shiv only as this word. So this way you can understand that how this pregnancy thing is happening. And now the question is where that Swatantra Shakti exists. So that Swatantra Shakti is Chetana of Anuttar. अब now if I say that okay tell me brother, भाई साहब ये बताइए कि आपकी चेतना कहाँ है, जरा 100 ग्राम चेतना निकाल के दिखाइए शरीर से. If I say you bring out 100 milliliter of blood out of your body, you can do that. But if I say okay you bring out 100 milliliter, 100 gram, okay 100 whatever जिस भी पैरामीटर्स होते हैं, 100 किलोमीटर मीटर, 100 मीटर, you bring out चेतना, nothing, because it is not objective existent, it is subjective existent. It is there, but it cannot be seen, it does not have any physical existence, but then chetana, then also chetana is there. So that chetana exists in Anuttar, and then that chetana only, in that chetana only this word is reflected as an image. तो क्या है कि मूल रूप से ये जो ऑब्जेक्टिव एग्जिस्टेंस, ये मेज, टेबल, कुर्सी है, मोबाइल फोन, यू आर टचिंग, इट इज हार्ड, सी you can touch it, but the fact is that all this is merely an image reflecting within Anuttar's चेतना. उस अनुत्तर की ही चेतना में इस प्रकार का रिफ्लेक्शन हो रहा है, और ऐसा करते समय अनुत्तर विश्वोत्पन्न शिव हैं और उनकी चेतना विश्वमयी शक्ति स्वरूप शक्ति हो जाते हैं, विश्वमय शिव शक्ति स्वरूप हो जाते हैं. So the fact is that so this is why it is said that it is reflection. ये रिफ्लेक्शन है, this is merely प्रतिबिंब है ना, जैसे इमेज का रिफ्लेक्शन, मिरर इमेज, नॉट रिफ्लेक्शन, इमेज इज देयर. सो दिस इज हैपनिंग. सो और बोध माने क्या होता है, संविद को ही बोध कहा जाता है. तो बोध पंचदशिका इत्यादि जो ग्रंथ हैं, तो वहां जो बोध है, दैट बोध इज संविद ओनली, शुद्ध संविद इज बोध. सो हमारी जो चेतना है, चेतना का जो काम करती है, वॉट एवर चेतना डज, दैट इज बोध, मतलब दैट एट्रीब्यूट इज बोध. इसके बाद अभी कौलिकी सिद्धि के बारे में एक्सप्लेन करते हैं आचार्य अभिनवगुप्त, समूची कौलिकी सिद्धि को. तो इन फर्स्ट ही से कुले भवा कौलिकी सिद्धि तथा तो दाढ़र्यम परिवृत्य आनंद रूपम हृदय स्पंद स्वरूप पर संवेदात्मक शिव विमर्श तादात्म्यम ताम सिद्धिम ददाति. अनुत्तर स्वरूप तादात्म्य ही कुलम तथा भवती. क्या तात्पर्य है, अभी आपने कुल के बारे में समझा. जस्ट नाउ यू अंडरस्टूड व्हाट इज कुल. वी ऑल हैव डिस्कस्ड कुल, व्हाट इज कुल. नाउ द फैक्ट इज दैट दिस कुल इज नथिंग बट अनुत्तर. दिस कुल इज नथिंग बट अनुत्तर. दिस रियलाइजेशन इज कौलिकी सिद्धि. तो मैं आपको एक बात बता दूं, जितने कौल है, जिस दिन आप कौलाचार्य हो जाएंगे, when you, the day you will become कौलाचार्य, you would be able to ascertain that this entire creation is nothing else but this is that Anuttar, and that's why Anuttar षोडशी की साधना की जाती है. देखिए अब ये थोड़ा सा मैं इसके एक दो टॉपिक के बाद बताऊंगा, क्योंकि अभी ये समझाना जरूरी है कि अनुत्तर की सिद्धि होगी कैसे, हाउ इट वुड हैपन. सो एवरीथिंग इज नॉट इन बुक, समथिंग हैज टू कम टू थॉट्स, गुरु मुख से, वो गुरु परंपरा से मिलता है. Then he says this is first thing. Now इसके बाद there is one more thing, he talks about sadhya, because sadhya है कौलिक सिद्धिदम, which gives, sadhya means instantaneously कौलिक सिद्धि दे देता है. तो सद्या शब्द की व्याख्या करते, तो we will take it later on. Then he talks about कौलिकी सिद्धि. He says तथा कुला देह प्राणादे आगता सिद्धि भेद प्राणानाम नील सुखादीनाम निश्चय रूपतया ताम ददाति इति. So what does he say? He says that तथा कुला देह प्राणादे आगता सिद्धि, वो जो कुल है, प्राण प्रमात्र भाव देह, means this body we have already seen earlier that this kul only, see here, what is kul? We have only seen that this body is kul only. This body is kul. तो तथा कुलात कुल के प्रभाव से देह प्राणादि आगता सिद्धि, उस देह और प्राण में आई हुई सिद्धि, that सिद्धि which has come in the body, देह प्रमाता प्राण, देह प्रमाता प्राण प्रमाता. तो एक्चुअली इन आड़मोपाय लेवल साधना क्या होता है कि देह प्रमाता, प्राण प्रमाता, बुद्धि प्रमाता, तीन प्रकार के प्रमाता कहलाते हैं. देयर आर थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ प्रमाता: देह प्रमाता, प्राण प्रमाता एंड बुद्धि प्रमाता. So Deha Pramata are those who consider this body only we are this body. Means I am Giri Ratna, this body is Giri Ratna. Pran Pramata is at the level of Pranamaya Kosh. Okay, so he thinks that this Pran is this, I am this Pran only. So and then Buddhi Pramata is at Manomaya Kosh and Vijnanamaya Kosh. So Vijnanamaya Kosh, तो उसका क्या होता है? He thinks that this both, this Buddhi Tattva is me only. So these three have different kind of solutions. So Deha Pramata के लिए मंत्र जप solution है. For solution for देह प्रमाता is मंत्र जप. For प्राण प्रमाता उच्चार इत्यादि, वर्ण स्थान प्रकल्पन एक्सेट्रा, these are there. And then बुद्धि प्रमाता के लिए शाक्तोपाय की बात कही जाती है. So what he says कि इस जब इसमें सिद्धियां आती हैं देह और प्राण आदि में, देह और प्राण आदि में, when the siddhi means when realization comes, okay. So in that case, what happens? Neel means objective existence, means table, chair, etc. And sukh means subjective existence, like feelings. Okay, cold and hot, winter, summer, all these things. Okay, so in that case, what happens? Yeah, when Kaulik Siddhi comes, now attribute of Kaulik Siddhi in that in this, and then this, and then this are explained. So what happens when Kaulik Siddhi comes in Deh Pramata? What happens, or in the sadhak, it will not happen in Deh Pramata level, it will happen at very high level, है ना. तो महामहेश्वरत्व की सिद्धि है ये सब. तो in that case what will happen? He will be able to realize that need and sukh are that Parapramata only, or that Anuttar Tattva only. After that, तथा कुले शिव शक्त्यात्मनि सन्निहिते अपि सिद्धि उक्ति नयन जीवन मुक्तितामयी समभिलाषित अणिमादि प्रसव पदा ताम सद्यः अनाकलित मेव भावना कारणादि रहितत्वेन एव ददाति. Now what he says that this kul, which is Sanghat, means associated state of Shiva and Shakti. When Shiva and Shakti are attached to each other, जुड़े हुए हैं एकदम, वो आपस में इंद्रियबद्ध हैं, they are attached to each other. Okay, so in that case what happens? जीवन मुक्ति की अवस्था होती है. So in that case साधक is in जीवन मुक्ति अवस्था, and what happens? अणिमा इत्यादि secondary level siddhis automatically come. And here in Trikamat, Anima, etc. have different meaning. Means that is given in the scripture, one can read there, so I am not taking it up here. And he says that the efforts like bhav and karan, etc. are not applicable here. Means by bhavana, dharana, mantra jap, etc. this would not happen. The fact is that whatever sadhana we are doing means avarana puja, chakra puja we are doing, then we do mantra jap, etc. So these things purify our mind. When the mind is purified, I shall say our chetana is purified, because मन कुछ नहीं होता, विचलित चेतना होती है. So when the chetana is purified by the virtue of this mantra, etc., what will happen? This chetana would be able to easily ascertain. It would be able to easily ascertain. What would it would be able to ascertain? It would be able to ascertain that nothing else but this is khechri, this entire creation is kul only. So but for that mantra jap, etc. sadhana is done. But for ascertainment, when your chetana is shuddha, that then you will able to attain the anuttar. So mantra, etc. would clarify your chetana, है ना, and by the virtue of that clear chetana you would be able to ascertain this thing. So that's why it is said that bhavana karanopasnadi rahitatven ev dadati. This he says. Then he says that कुले जाता सिद्धि शाक्त हादि रूप प्रसरणात् आरभ्य बहिर्भाव पटल पर्यंतम भेद भासना ताम ददाति. This we have already seen that Shakta Prasar, this entire Shakta Prasar is of Kul. दिस एंटायर शाक्त प्रसार इज ऑफ कुल, ओके, शिव शक्ति का संघट्ट वाला. तो in that case one attains the siddhi of such creations. When at one becomes kul siddha, kaulik siddhi happens when becomes kaulachar, entire complete kaulik siddhi happens. He becomes eligible to create. You might have heard that there are siddhas who gave life to dead people. And you might also have heard about Vishwamitra who created another Swargalok. And like Siddha Bhumi, Gyanaganj, etc. These are created by Siddha Mahapurushas. So these creations, how they are able to do? Because they are Kaulacharya. They have this Kaulik Siddhi. So Anuttaram Kathayam Sadhya Kaulik Siddhidam Yena Vigyata Matrena Khechri Samdam Prajet. So by merely knowing all this, by अच्छा यहाँ knowing विज्ञात मात्र की परिभाषा आगे बताई गई है. So by merely knowing all this, what will happen? You would be able to attain the Khechri Samya. So how it would happen? By the time is here, knowing means not theoretically knowing. Knowing means to ascertain. By the time you would ascertain that, okay, I am that Anuttar and this entire creation is happening within me, is of me, and is indifferent from me. When such state is achieved by you, okay, so that state is Kaula Siddhi. In this Kaula Siddhi, when sadhak becomes Kaulachar, he says that entire creation is the virtue of Shiva Shakti Samarasya. Entire creation is Samarasya of Shiva and Shakti, and he sees that this Samarasya of Shiva Shakti is nothing else. When Shiva and Shakti are together, what is they are Anuttar. So when this first ascertain would be step by step. So first ascertain would happen that this entire creation is Samarasya of Shiva and Shakti. And when Shiva and Shakti are together, then it is Anuttar. So what is happening? You are able to realize, so that only is Anuttaratva Siddhi. So that is a Kaulik Siddhi. Okay. So yena vigyata matrena khechri samdam prajet. So means by merely knowing this thing, you would be able to attain the Khechri Samya. And Khechri Samya is what? It is liberation. Means I will explain in one line only Khechri Sam, because next week we will discuss in detail what is Khechri Samya. So Khechri Samya is the state in which whether you are in this office, you are doing in sadhana, you are sitting in sadhana, whatever you are doing, you are always realizing the fact that this word is that Parashakti only. That's why I would say that कोई अवतार नहीं हुआ. And if you say avatar is there, so I say you only are avatar. मैं भी अवतार हूँ. वो कुत्ता भी अवतार है. वो गधा भी अवतार है. That donkey also is avatar. That pig also is avatar. That sloth, amoeba and bacteria, all these are avatar. So there is nothing in this world which is not avatar, because why? Shiva is coming in all those bodies. Matriklipte hi bhedasya tatra tatra vapushyalah. Parapramata only becomes Vishwamay, which is Swatantra Shakti, and then that Swatantra Shakti does Ashani Bhav, and in that Ashani Bhav, she means herself presents herself as this word. So there is nothing like avatar. और if avatar is there, then you also are avatar. और कोई कहे कितने कला के अवतार? भाई पूर्ण 16 कला के अवतार हैं आप पूर्ण 16 कला के अवतार हैं. पूर्ण 16 कला के अवतार. हाउ you are Shodash Kala Sampanna. This is explained later on in the scripture also. The fact is that because Shiva, so Shiva is complete, Kauliki Shakti is complete, that Shodashi is complete, Parashakti is Shodashi. This is there in the scripture also. Otherwise also Para is Shodashi, means Para is Shodashi. So if Shodashi herself is taking Vishwamay, Shiva only is that Para, Shodashi, this Shakti, Kauliki Shakti, and when she herself is taking this body, how there can be less number of kalas? If less number of kalas is there, then eventually she does not, that thing does not exist. Anything which does not have 16 kalas does not exist. The fact is that the realization of 16 kalas is not there. Why? Because which tattva is abundant, that becomes important. Which tattva becomes abundant? Prithvi kala hame Prithvi tattva abundant hai. When we will continuously do sadhana, we will reach to Shuddhadva level, and in that case Shakti Tattva and then Shiva Tattva and then Anuttar would be abundant in this body. बिकॉज मल का शोधन हो जाएगा, मल शोधन, रिफाइनमेंट ऑफ मल रिफाइनिंग विल हैपन. एंड व्हेन it's like suppose gold bar is lying, okay, and that is covered by so many impurities for thousands of years, but when you clear, gold bar would be gold bar as it is. It would shine. You only have to wash that. So that is refinement of mal. So 16 kala, you are complete 16 kala avatar, and this realization would come by the virtue of sadhana, because by the virtue of sadhana your chitta would become pure, and when your chitta would become pure, you would be able to realize all these things. And in that state, every single aspect, every single object, every single state, koi mar gaya, koi paida hua, you are getting married, you are getting, means you are getting new job, whatever, every state of mind you will say that okay, सब तो खेचड़ी, ये सब तो भगवती का है, सब भगवती की माया प्रपंच चल रहा है. That way mind would think, and that only is the state of khechri sam. And hence it is said that there is no vyutthan, like in samadhi vyutthan is there, but here in khechri sam there is no vyutthan. So Acharya Abhinavgupta explains what is sadhya, as it is said that anuttaram katham deva, anuttaram katham deva sadhya kaulik siddham. How is that anuttar, which sadhya means samane ani, means quickly gives that siddhi. So the fact is that here when we are talking, it is at the level of bimba bhav. So sadhya grammatically means samane ahani, means on same day. Grammatically sadhya stands for samane ahani, means same day. But here there is no day and time, because this is bimba bhav. This is we are discussing at bimba bhav level. So bimba bhav में कोई काल का कलन है ही नहीं. There is no kram at all. When there is no kram at all, there is akram. So how sadhya? So here sadhya means instantaneously. Instantaneous, by जिस समय हो जाए उसी समय. माने what would it mean? Anuttaram katham dev sadhya policy means by the as and when anuttar would be explained to you, same time kaulik siddhi would happen to you. As and when you would be able to ascertain anuttar, कि anuttar ये है, you would be able to realize, immediately kaulik siddhi हो जाएगी. Or what will happen by the virtue of that? ये न विज्ञात मात्रेण, by earning that खेचरी समताम्रजित, खेचरी साम्य की सिद्धि होगी. So what is विज्ञात मात्र? So I have explained pramata, praman and prameya. So we are pramata. Okay, again I am telling, I am again reiterating this in pramata. And what is prameya? Anything which you want to know. So par prameya is par pramata. For par pramata, par prameya is used. And for this word is means prameya hai, theek hai, prameya hai. And then by the virtue of praman you realize this thing. And pramata, praman and prameya, all these lie on the platform which is known as pramiti or prama. That is pramiti. Means this game of pramata, praman and prameya is happening on the playground which is known as pramiti. So what is that? So what has to be realized? So it is said that anuttar only is fueling. Anuttar only is operating all these pramata, praman and prameya. तो ठीक बात है ना? Parmeshwar wanted to create this world. Okay, so he created you are pramata. And then in pramata, in this word is prameya for you. Okay, various objects are there because you are in the state of differentiation, माने भेदवादी अवस्था है. So in that case, you are seeing that all these objects are other than me. And how you can recognize these objects? For example, the book is there. So how will you recognize the book is there? So praman is required. Okay, so book ka praman kya hai? It will have pages. Something would be written on the pages like that. Okay, so what will happen? So you, the pramata, are able to realize this word by the help of prameya. That cognition is happening by the prameya, and the one who fuels all this is that anuttar. So that only is vigyata matra. That only is vigyat matra, means आपको होना तो है लेकिन करना अनुत्तर को है. That's why here in this Kaula Siddhant, Shaktipat is most important thing. Shaktipat is most important thing. And Shaktipat is done by Parameshwar. He can do it by the virtue of Guru, and he can directly do it also. So what you have to do? You have to keep on doing your sadhana. By the time a chitta would purify completely, Parameshwar will do Shaktipat, and then Vigyat Matra would happen, and Anuttaram Katham Sadhya Kaulik Siddhidam, येन विज्ञात matran khechari samtam rajat. So by the Shaktipat, that Vigyat Mat, we would be able to realize what you would be able to realize. Anuttar, how Anuttar is, Anuttaram Katham, how Anuttar is. And by the virtue of that, Kaulik Siddhi would be accomplished. And by knowing that Yen Vigyat Matran Khechari Samtam Rajet, Khechari Sambe would be accomplished. There is no moksha in this world. Moksha is nothing. बिकॉज वेन देर इज नो फाउंडेशन, आप बंधे ही नहीं. अच्छा बताइए, आप जब मैंने कहा कि आप वेन वेन यू आर अवतार, पूर्ण 16 कला के अवतार, स्वयं परमेश्वरत्व की सिद्धि है आपको, तो हु कैन बाउंड यू? इज देयर एनी शक्ति इन दिस वर्ल्ड विच कैन बाउंड परमेश्वर? नो. ओनली द थिंग इज परमेश्वर हैज पुट ऑन सम impurities on himself. Like you will see a Aghori sitting on Smashan Ghat and they will put on ashes, etc., or maybe soil, etc., so that people may not come to them. It is their bhav. They want to keep themselves away. But it does not mean that Siddha, they are not Siddha. The same way Parmeshwar, for the sake of joy, he has put on these mal and left his various forms in this world. And he's enjoying. So the fact is, and he has given 3.5 crore mantras to you also. So you start by mantra, Deha Pramata, Buddhi Pramata, Pran Pramata, Buddhi Pramata, you keep on moving, Adavopaye, Shaktopaye, Shambhavopaye, और उसके बाद अखंड मंडल में प्रवेश, अनुपाय अनुत्तर की सिद्धि. Once you reach there, there is nothing else required. So there is one diagram which I would like to show you. It would not be very clear. Next time I would put on slide also. Here you will see that innermost is Prithvyand. In this Prithvyand, you will have Prithvi Tattva, and then outside it is Prakrityand. Then there is Mayand, and then Mayand, and then there is Shaktand. These are 4. So the fact is, Prithvyand, in Prithvyand, all the Prithvi means up to Satyalok resort in Prithvyand. That is the concept. And then in Mayand, Maya Tattva tak ke jitne bhi lok hai wo isme. There are total 118 bhuvans which are spread in 36 tattvas. Anashik Shiv Tattva tak. So just see the circle, because diagram would not be very clear here. Just see the circle. This is just to explain. And the outermost within this, all these composition exists, is Anuttar. So the fact is that all this expansion and dissolution is happening inside Anuttar. So that is the thing, because he himself energizes he activates his Chiti Shakti, and this Anuttar, what is this Anuttar could beyond Shakti and Shiv. So the fact is that we as a Shakt consider him as a Shakti. Anuttar Shodashi का जाप करते हैं. शैव इन अनुत्तर को अनुत्तर भट्टारक कहते हैं, और आचार्य अभिनवगुप्त ने भी परात्रिमशिका में अनुत्तर को शक्ति स्वरूप ही लिया हुआ है. I will put this diagram in the next presentation on the slide also. Maybe I will put in the group after this class. So I conclude here. Jai Mai Maharaj ki.
Thank you, Giri Ratna ji. Namaste, everyone. Any questions, anybody? If so, please unmute your mic.
ऋषि नमस्ते. एक प्रश्न था.
जी जी.
When you listed the 23 items, which the understanding of which means that Kaula can be understood. I was just thinking, why is Chit omitted in the 23 item list?
23 items means
कर्मेंद्र, ज्ञानेंद्र, पंचभूत, पंच प्राण और मनस, बुद्धि, अहंकार.
हाँ.
उसमें चित्त क्यों नहीं है, सोच रहा था मैं.
क्या नहीं है? आपकी आवाज इको कर रही है थोड़ा. चित्त नहीं है. हेलो
जी जी, वो मेरा प्रश्न था.
जी, असल में क्या है, जो चिति शक्ति पे ही तो सारा गेम हो रहा है. she only is that स्वतंत्र दर्पण on which this कुल आशानी भाव is happening. So that Kauliki Shakti is Chiti only. So she is background, she is playground on which this game is happening.
Okay, we have a question from Prashad as well. Prashad, if you'd like to unmute your mic.
Jai Ambe, Jai Gurudev. Uh,
जय अम्बे।
yeah. Chi, I have a question. Like, when will this malas will get over? Like, when it will get over? Like, that is like, we have this kamika, maya, and anav mal. Like, when we are in this body, like,
जी जी।
once you realized, still there is anav mal, or like it does exist along with it, or like it will go off.
देखिए, देर आर 7 काइंड ऑफ प्रमाता, सो दैट इज थ्योरेटिकल थिंग, आई विल नॉट एंटर इनटू दैट कि मल किस लेवल पे जाता है। आई विल एक्सप्लेन इन टर्म्स ऑफ, और एक चीज जो रह गई थी वो भी मैं एक्सप्लेन कर दूं पहले, फिर मैं आई विल टेक अप दिस क्वेश्चन। नाउ द फैक्ट इज दैट हाउ साधना इज हैपनिंग,
Okay.
बिकॉज है ना, एज ऑफ नाउ साधना पार्ट हैज नॉट कम अप। सो द फैक्ट इज दैट लाइक इन वेदांत में कहा जाता है ना कि वी हैव टू श्रवण मनन एंड निधिध्यासन,
Yes. Yes.
है ना। सो सेम वे हियर you have to, because here it is, there is no effort is told. Anuttaram katham de sadhya kaulit siddham yen vigyat matran khechri samtam vrajat, means how is that anuttar? Just to know that. To here knowing is not theoretically knowing, it's realization. So the fact
Okay.
is that to know and then to realize all around by the doing so, हठ पाक अलमग्रास की विधियां होती हैं। by the virtue of that you realize that you start from prithvi tattva and then up to Shakti Tattva and Ashrit Shiv Tattva, you realize that okay, this entire world is Prithvi Tattva and it is me, it is reflecting in me. फिर जल तत्व है, फिर ऐसे इस तरीके से करके साधनाएं होती। तो यहाँ क्या भाव प्रकार की साधना है, और यू हैव टू असर्टेन, लाइक वेदांत में, जैसे वेदांत में ईश्वर सत्यम जगत माया है, इस प्रकार के भाव में मन को दृढ़ किया जाता है, अपने चित्त को दृढ़ करते हैं, वैसा ही यहाँ पे भी है, दैट असर्टेनमेंट हैज टू हैपन। नाउ योर क्वेश्चन इज देयर, सो मंत्र जाप से मलों का उद्धार होता है,
Yeah.
है ना। एंड आई विल ऑल्सो से वन मोर थिंग, यू माइट हैव सीन दैट अभिषेक दीक्षा जब होती है तो उसमें उसमें आपके अध्वशोधन की भी आहुतियां पड़ती हैं,
हाँ.
है ना। आहुतिज ऑफ अध्वशोधन आर ऑल्सो डन। सो उसमें मीन्स देश अध्वा और काल अध्वा की भी आहुतियां होती हैं। सो द फैक्ट इज व्हाट डज इट सिग्निफाई? देखिए, आपके जब समस्त मंत्रों का व्हेन ऑल द पुरस्चरण ऑफ ऑल द मंत्रास हैव बीन कंप्लीटेड सक्सेसफुली,
Okay.
okay, and you have accomplished entire kram,
Okay.
okay, so that is the state।
Okay.
और उसके बाद जो शक्तिपात होता है उससे पूर्ण अनुग्रह होता है,
Okay. Okay.
है ना।
Okay. Thank you, ji. Thank you.
जी नमस्कार।
We have last question from Veeria. Please unmute your mic.
यस, नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते।
थैंक यू। आज बहुत ही अच्छा लगा सुन के। सर एक क्वेश्चन है इनोसेंट सा कि सर ये हमारे भारत में हम लोग बहुत पसंद करते हैं रामायण और कृष्ण लीला वगैरह। तो जब श्रीमद् भागवतम पढ़ते हैं तो उसमें बहुत क्लियरली लिखा हुआ है कि श्री कृष्ण तो 16 कला के हैं लेकिन रामचंद्र 12 या 14 के हैं। तो अभी आपने कहा कि नहीं, सभी हम, इवन मैं इतनी अज्ञानी मनुष्य, मैं भी 16 की हूँ, मुझे बस पता नहीं है। तो सर इसको कैसे देखें, क्योंकि हमारे लिए दोनों ही पूजनीय है। तो आपको लगता है ये जो बड़े बड़े ऋषि मुनि इन्होंने ऐसे ही लिख दिया कि एक 14 के हैं, एक 16 के हैं, तो इसको कैसे समझे सर?
मैडम एक चीज बता दूं, 12 कलाएं जैसे आपको, देखिए पहले तो राम जी की और कृष्ण जी की बात कर लूं। देखिए, राम सूर्यवंशी हैं इसलिए 12 कला के अवतार कहे जाते हैं, सूर्य की 12 कलाएं होती हैं। कृष्ण चंद्रवंशी हैं इसलिए 16 कला कहा जाता है। पहली चीज है, कलाएं सब में पूर्ण होती हैं, लेकिन कुछ कलाएं जागृत होती हैं, कुछ कलाएं लुप्त रहती हैं। ठीक है, हम में भी 16 कला है, लेकिन 16 कला अगर जागृत हो जाए तो हम तो बैठे बैठाए प्रलय कर दे और सृष्टि का निर्माण करने लग जाए यहीं बैठे बैठे। तो मुद्दे की बात है, 1 या 2 कला 3 कला छोड़ करके साधक की योग्यता के अनुरूप कलाएं सारी रहती हैं। लाइक वी आर परमेश्वर, व्हाट आई हैव सेड, बट आवर वी आर कवर्ड बाय मल, है ना। तो वो मल जो होता है हमारे परमेश्वरत्व को जब आच्छादित करता है तो मूल रूप से वो उन कलाओं को ही आच्छादित करता है। आज जैसे विशेष आर्ग जब स्थापित होता है तो आप देखिए कि जो उसमें कलाओं का आवाहन होता है वहां पंचप्रेतासन का आवाहन होता है मूल रूप से, और फिर पारमेश्वरी की 64 कलाओं का फिर वहां पे आवाहन होता है। तो मुद्दे की बात क्या है कि अब इसी प्रकार से शरीर होता है, तो शरीर में 16 कलाएं पूर्ण रूप से व्याप्त है, लेकिन होता क्या है कि जितना पारमेश्वरत्व हमारे तपोबल से हमको सिद्ध हुआ है उतनी ही कलाएं जागृत दिखाई देंगी। बाकी कलाएं सुषुप्त रहेंगी, मीन दे विल बी इन डीप स्लीप स्टेट।
अच्छा, तो फिर मतलब जैसे कई लोगों को कृष्णा मंत्र में दीक्षित किया जाता है, कई रामचंद्र हनुमान, तो इसमें तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता ना, क्योंकि वो हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है, हमें अपने चित्त को प्योरीफाई करना है।
मैडम ये
डीटी के अंदर हमें
अब
भेद नहीं करना चाहिए, मतलब मैं
नहीं
आपका
नहीं
ओपिनियन जानना
मैडम,
चाहती
देखिए ऐसा है, ये एक ना डीटी में भेद होना और मंत्र की जो भावना होती है ना वो अलग होती है, ठीक है। और मंत्र के स्वरूप अलग होते हैं। उसके बाद क्या होता है, जैसे किस मंत्र से क्या है, और हर देवता की अपनी अलग वो होती है, अवस्था होती है। देखिए यही चीज है ना कि सनातन धर्म में एक ही चीज के कई अवस्थाएं होती है। जैसे आप देखिए कि जो राम की साधना है, राम की साधना में अद्वैतवाद नहीं है, वहां विशिष्टाद्वैत तक है,
हूँ।
वहां विशिष्टाद्वैत तक है। कृष्ण की साधना में शुद्धाद्वैत है। और शुद्धाद्वैत तो और ही अजीब तरीका, मतलब वहां पे कहा था आप कुछ करो चाहे ना करो, करना भगवान कृष्ण को ही है, तो आप केवल उनके आश्रित बने रहो। ये शुद्धाद्वैत है। विशिष्टाद्वैत का अलग सिद्धांत है, मणि कांचन का, कि भाई भाई सोने से ये आपका कंगन बन गया और इस प्रकार से आप वही है, ये है, तो वो विशिष्ट है अद्वैत होकर के भी। तो वहां पे ये अद्वैत वाली बात नहीं है। किस अवस्था की सिद्धि है और क्या है, ये इस पे निर्भर करेगा, उस मंत्र के आधार पर।
जी, ओके, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
जी मैम।
Okay, Giriratna ji, thank you very much for your time. We'll
हाँ जी,
proceed
नमस्कार।
with this. Namaskar, everyone.
Thank you, thank
जय
you,
माँ
thank you very
महाराज,
much. Thank you, thank
जय
you.
माँ महाराज।
जय
Thank
अम्बे,
you.
जय गुरुदेव।
You need to unclick the record, Giriratna ji.
ओके ओके, सॉरी,
Hmm.
स्टॉप रिकॉर्डिंग।
That's right.
जी डन।
Thank you.
ओके।